Hello Caffeine Fiends and welcome to another coffee bean review video for www.getbeaned.com. I'm the Mean Bean Machine and today I'm very excited about this coffee blend that we have here because it's actually from my local town. I mean the actual coffee isn't. Hertfordshire, suburban Hertfordshire is not great for growing coffee. Who knows, with global warming, maybe in a few years we'll have some great coffee from Hertfordshire. However, the roaster is from the town I am from, which is really exciting because I didn't know we had any roasters here. I knew we had some that tried in kind of the next town over, and we got a few kind of really decent independent kind of specialty coffee shops, and they're cropping up, and we're in an area where there's a lot of kind of main lines into London. So I think there's a lot of those commuters. I'm in the commuter belt basically, so I think a lot of commuters are used to kind of decent coffee on the weekdays, and more have been cropping up in our local area because of the demand for it. However, I didn't know we had kind of any roasters really close to us, but this one happens to be in my actual town, so I might hit them up and see what's a guanin really, and see if I can learn a bit more about them. Anyway, so I've happened upon this by chance, just by scrolling around the internet really, and it just came up. Sustain coffee roasters in your town, and I was like, no, that can't be right. They might be in Hertfordshire, they're not going to be in my actual town. But I think, from what I can gather, I can't get a lot of information from them, but I think they're actually in my town. Anyway, so I thought, brilliant, I can get coffee and support the local economy, which is very prescient in current times. We're just about to go into another lockdown, so that'll be good fun. But also, because I live locally, they deliver for free. They just rock up and go, oh, did you order a coffee? Here's your bag, which is lovely. So I've gone for one of their two house blends, and this is the Plantation blend. I don't know if you can see there, but it's got the flavour profile on the front, so dark chocolate, caramel, hazelnut finish. Now I specifically went for this because of that description of the flavour profile. Really rich, really sweet. Hazelnut finish is something I'm interested in as well. The juxtaposition of caramel, which should be kind of give a real kind of sugary sweetness, and a hazelnut finish, so should be quite smooth as well. And dark chocolate suggests it's not going to be too rich. There'll be a richness, but it won't be too sweet, if you see what I mean. So I'm really excited to try it. I think it'd be gorgeous as a latte. I really hope so, because if I can get really great local coffee, this is going to be a winner for me. Anyway, yes, so I've got this delivered. We'll give it a go as an espresso, and then as my standard kind of oat milk latte. Now it cost me £5 for 250 grams whole bean. Now they do offer a grinding service as well. Again, what impressed me is that they also offer options. Usually you get kind of whole bean espresso machine or cafetiere options, yeah. But they specifically, they obviously know their stuff because they were offering options for AeroPress and mocha pots, and the specific item you have that they can grind for you, which I thought was really impressive. I went for whole bean because I like to grind my own beans anyway, and whole bean lasts longer depending on how quickly you get through them. Anyway, we'll give this a go and see what it tastes like. So there we have the espresso shot. As you can see, the cream has kind of dissipated a little bit already, but it's got a darker profile than I first expected. Not necessarily a bad thing, I just thought it would look a little lighter. I've got to say, it's got a really kind of strong, rich smell when you open the bag, which is really kind of nice and enjoyable, because part of kind of the taste of coffee comes with the olfactory senses all being kind of fired up, so smell is a big part of it, and you grind it up and that smell's still there. So I'm hoping it's got a nice kind of rich smell and the flavour kind of comes through with that. So we'll give it a sip as an espresso. See what we think. Now smelling it, it's almost got a berry kind of fruitiness to it. Now the flavour profile says nothing about fruitiness, so it may just be the smell. It may just be me, to be honest. We'll give it a sip and see what we think. All very... Oh wow, that's a lot richer than I expected. And I do get fruity tones, but I understand why they've not. Oh, just kind of getting an aftertaste through as well. Sorry, just on a second kind of swallow, there's that dark chocolate really comes through. So there's this really kind of powerful darkness to it. I'm not getting a lot of the caramel. It's very smooth though, very smooth. There's no roughness to it. So maybe that's why it's kind of saying caramel and hazelnut finish. I understand the hazelnut finish, there's almost a kind of woodiness to it at the end. But it's really, really rich, really smooth, but there's a darkness to it. So there's not as much sweetness as I expected. And like I say, I do get that kind of berry essence, but I understand why they've not mentioned it, because it's not as light. It has no light tone. You say kind of berry acidity and you're thinking of, you say berries and you're thinking of the acidity and these kind of slightly lighter tones. So that's really dark and really rich and really, it's really pleasant. But if I were to drink it as an espresso, you'd probably go, oh, that's very dark for an espresso. You know, it's not a dark roast. I think it's a medium roast, to be honest. But there's a darkness to it, and I think as an espresso drink, you'd go, that's very strong for an espresso. What I do find interesting about this is that it's a blend from a lot of places. It's a really kind of complex blend in terms of most blends I come across are from like 2, maybe 3 different regions. Whereas this one is, from India, Brazil, Ethiopia and Nicaragua. So that's 4 different places. And it's not, usually you'll get like, oh here's a few South American places, or like 1 African, 1 South American. Whereas this kind of covers Asia, Central America, Africa and South America. And it's like, wow, usually you don't get that many mixes. Probably because you don't kind of want to overcomplicate the coffee, but this is not to its detriment at all. So they've got a really nice blend, but it's just striking that they've got 4 very distinct places that typically have very distinct flavour profiles. And then you've got this kind of really nice, rich, yet inoffensive, like there's no kind of, ugh, that's really coffee-y, sort of. It smells great. I really like that, but if I had to have it black or as an espresso, I'd be like 1 and done, if you see what I mean. Very rich. So I'm hoping kind of the oat milk brings out more of the caramel, allows kind of sweetness to rise through, or those tones to be diluted, the stronger kind of darker, richer tones to be diluted to allow something to come to the fore. We'll give it a go, add some oat milk, see how we feel that works out. So there we have it with an attempt at frothing. Unfortunately my milk wand doesn't seem to want to play ball today, having a few issues with that. But it should be in a state enough to give the right impression at least. As you can see, kind of the frothing didn't go too well. There's no head there, but it, we got roughly the right texture, so it should, touch wood, be all right. So we'll give it a go. Oh wow, actually that's come out really nicely, really kind of silky smooth. And I think I was right about the milk allowing certain profiles to kind of be picked out and certain profiles to kind of dull down. So there's less of that darkness, less dark chocolate, as to be expected when you add anything to coffee. And that kind of smooth hazelnut finish at the end, I understand that, why that's been said. And as a latte, I really like that. Really like that. The caramel still sort of eludes me. I guess that's more to do with the kind of mouthfeel, and there is a kind of not syrupy, but I understand the note, but there's no kind of real sugary punch that I'd sort of expect. But for the most part, I really, the tasting notes are kind of bang on, and that is a lovely kind of smooth, if you get your milk right, that's a lovely kind of smooth latte, kind of cappuccino drink. As a latte drinker, I think that's a gorgeous blend. But I do err on the side of sweetness and the side of richness. If you're looking for something kind of with a bit more acidity, perhaps not this, but I really like that. That's a very indulgent coffee. If you're going to sit down with maybe, you know, a bit of chocolate and a nice coffee, I would 100% plump for that. That is lovely. £5 for 250 grams as well it comes under my like £7 threshold, which is what I'm expecting to pay for, you know, most independent coffees at 250 grams. So well chuffed that that's local, and it's so nice. I might have to try out some of their other coffees. But yeah, really lovely. Would recommend giving them a go. Sustain Coffee, brilliant. Really like that. Thank you for watching. Do like and subscribe if you like the video, and check out some of our other videos on other coffee blends and single origin beans. Thank you very much, take care, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Bye bye.